Every morning, thousands of people get up and they're chronically inflamed. They eat too many foods that have omega-6s in them. They don't exercise enough, or they exercise too much. They get maybe too much sunlight, and they probably don't get enough sleep, so there's a lot of stresses going on. This chronic inflammation can lead to chronic disease down the road if you don't look after it. Now, vegetarians are a bit better because they have a plant-based diet, but even vegetarians can be at risk of some types of health problems, especially those things that are involved with the raising of something called homocysteine levels in the heart, because they don't get enough B12 or B6, and of course folic acid is involved in that process. Genetic expression is a new type of strategy in nutrition that was developed after the human genome was discovered in 2003. Scientists found that the genes were not really directly related to what happens in our bodies, but something on top of them called genetic expression that actually influences the genes to behave certain ways. And so Nu Skin got together and they decided to get into the genetic expression science arena. And Dr. Chang actually met with a guy named Richard Weindruch, who was at the University of Wisconsin, who was studying genetic expression for 25 years with rhesus monkeys. And what he found out was that these monkeys that were on a caloric-restricted diet lived a lot longer, and they also didn't have the chronic diseases like heart disease or diabetes or obesity or arthritis, all the things that we get as we age. So they said, okay, what if we could get some compounds that would change the genetic expression the same as what a caloric-restricted diet would do? And so they started, they used a gene chip. So Nu Skin actually met with Richard Weindruch and bought his company out for about $50 million. And with Richard Weindruch was a genetist called Thomas Proler, who actually helped develop the gene chip. So now they can take compounds and they can find out what the genetic expression is. And so what the goal was to change a person's genetic expression back to somebody that was maybe 20 years old, from maybe 80 years old, because as we age, we get an increase in inflammation because of just the aging process. Even things like eating too much food will do that. So they finally got LifeGen Technologies on their side, and they started going through the database of nutrients from the blue zones in the world where people lived to be over 100 years of age and very healthy, and they started testing them with this gene chip, and they came up with 13 nutrients. They put it into a bottle, and it was called ageLOC Youth in the United States, and here in Canada, where I live, it's called ageLOC Wiseband. And it's been very beneficial for people to help them sleep better, to increase the mobility of their joints, to help lower cholesterol, to do things that are really good for lowering inflammation. So the key thing about ageLOC Wiseband and ageLOC Youth is the same product, is that it lowers inflammation. And it really is profound in that way. And this genetic expression science will continue on. And if you want to get some of this ageLOC Youth or Wiseband, call the company. It's 1-800-487-1000, and the people there will get you in touch with one of the people throughout the world that distribute the product, and they will get you on the product. So it's really, really a good one. Okay, thank you.